All right, yeah, I left off at the Chevette. That was a fun little car. Had that from September 90. When I was 20, I got it. And I sold it in March of 93, a couple months before I turned 23, because I had just gotten a 84 Dodge Daytona Turbo. And that was a really nice car. It was an automatic. That was the only down point, but I loved that car. Like, it was so cool. Such a nice looking car. It was like dark gray and had the big black wide stripe type thing on the bottom part of the door on both sides, and it said turbo. And it was 84 Dodge Daytona Turbo. I got it in 93. Had 78,000 miles. I paid $1,900 for that car. It was just like the Chevette, perfect shape. I really enjoyed that car. I really did. It was a nice car. It was a real chick mobile. The the ladies really went for that car. And then I wound up selling that car in August of, what was it? August? Yeah, I guess it was August, maybe September. Yeah, I think it was September actually of 97. So I had that car for 5.5 years. Because I remember in between when I had the Daytona, though, I also had other cars. I had like, what did I have? I had a Dodge Omni, even 85 Omni. They were pretty fun little cars, actually. And I had an 84 Subaru station wagon, I remember. And that was a 4-speed. That was maroon. It was a nice station wagon. And what else? I had a lot of vehicles, like project vehicles even. Like the 72 Firebird I had. Got it in December of 90 when I had the Chevette, when I had just gotten the Chevette. And I remember having the Firebird on the road in the summer of 91. And it was a fun car. It was 4 on the floor. And it had the really, really fat tires, the 50s in the rear. It was all primer, black primer, and the like the induction thing on the hood, this whatever you call scoop or whatever. I had that painted like a flat gold color, and I liked the flat black on the car though. I thought it was really cool, but I remember all these dweebs back then, these dorks and dweebs, they used to all, like, I don't know, like they didn't want to acknowledge that I had a really badass car. They wanted to like downplay the whole thing and just say, "Oh, when are you going to get it painted, Rob?" That's what they always used to say to me, Bunch of dorks and dweebs I grew up with, They were idiots. I should have punched a lot of them kids out, man. Those punks. They used to come up to me out of nowhere and they'd be like, "Oh, hey Rob, how's your sister doing?" They'd ask about my sister. And I don't know why I didn't just really go off on them, the way they used to. I didn't like that, It's just, they were disrespectful, these guys, Freaking Floridians, Florida, New York, Bunch of jackwads, dipsticks, dipwads. Swear, those dudes sucked, man. They were lame. They used to all congregate around the store parking lots. They'd like park all in this area. They were like clicking out. They were like cliques, And they'd all hang out and congregate, They were annoying. A lot of these lamos, hicks and wannabes, What else can I say? I had a truck, even 62 Dodge truck I got in 1990. That was like a project vehicle also. I had that on the road. I remember in 92 for a little while. And that was a pretty neat truck. It was a lot like that truck in that Soundgarden video. Just checking the time. Yeah, it was a lot like that truck that's in that Soundgarden video, Rusty Cage. That's what that truck was, a lot like that. It was a step side. That was a 3-speed on the floor, actually. And then what else did I have? Had a Bronco 2 I got in 97. That was an 84. 1984 Bronco 2. Got it in 97. I had a rebuilt engine. I paid $2,300 for that. I only had that for a year. And then I had this Escort, 86 Escort. I had that for like a year. And then in August of 99, I got a Mustang GT. It was a 1990. It was automatic though. And I liked it a lot. It was a really cool car. I paid $37.50 for it. 102,000 miles. It was a second owner car. 97,000 chick miles, and then 5,000 college kid miles. That's why I bought it off some college kid, a local, you know, from where I was at that time. And that was a really fun car. I mean, for a little while it was, but then I got bored of it, and believe it or not, I wound up trading it, you know, 8 months after I got it. In May of 2000, I traded it for a, what was it, an 87 Ranger truck, XLT, 4-wheel drive with a 5-speed. And also the dude threw in a quad racer, 86 250 Suzuki quad racer. I decided to go with the trade, you know. It was my first quad runner that I ever had. I've had, you know, I had dirt bikes before that. You know, in 86 to 89, I had a DT 100 Yamaha 2-stroke. It was a 75 model. It was, you know, back then they were kind of big. 205-pound bike. It wasn't really, you know, it was nothing like these, you know, the way they started getting a lot faster in the early 80s, the 2-stroke bikes especially. And then in 89, I got a XR 200 Honda. That was the 86 model. Bought that from a friend. I only paid $400 for it. It was in perfect shape, too. He was going in the Air Force, and $400. That was a phenomenal deal. I had tons of fun with that bike. But then in 91, 2 years later, it got stolen because I didn't have it chained up in the yard, and some idiots came and they just rolled it right out of the yard, and it was way in the back too. I used to keep it covered, but you know, I should have had it chained up. So I guess this video serves as a lesson to others. You know, make sure you keep your dirt bike or your quad chained up. And that's what I used to do with my quad when I had it. I'd always have it chained up to a tree. But anyway, going back to the Ranger and the quad, you know, I had a lot of fun with the quad runner, and the Ranger truck was really great too. Great in the snow and good work truck. But after a while, it had a lot of problems, and then I just decided to trade it in for a 94 Saturn. And eventually I sold the quad racer. And I'm going to have to cut the camera, make a part 3.